Usually, we make rankings to class the top Android phones. Indeed, there are a lot of great smartphones running on Android which are launched each year. So it's really easy to make a top of the best Android phones. However, among these phones, there are some bad surprises each year too. So in this video, we are going to rank the 15 worst Android phones of all time. Like you guessed, this ranking is subjective, so don't hesitate to leave your comments to give your worst Android phones of all time. Number 15, the HTC Shasha, rumored to be a Facebook phone. It just looked like a cheap BlackBerry at last. It had a dedicated Facebook button to keep you hooked up and sharing at every available opportunity. But it had small screen, low specification, and worst, an horrible name. Number 14, the LG Optimus 5. The LG Optimus 5 was packed with bloatware and its screen was really poor. The battery life was also terrible. With LG Optimus 5, entry level meant awful. The device received a lot of complaints about bad call quality, bugs, and the battery. Number 13, the Samsung Double Time. The Double Time was a flip open phone with two back screens, 3.inch screens on the outside and another one on the inside. The keyboard was ugly with pink highlights. Worst thing about the Double Time was its slowness. It was a consequence of its 800 MHz processor with just 256 MB of RAM. Number 12, the Motorola Citrus. Poor design for a slow phone with just a 3-inch screen. It was round with 3 megapixel camera. The Motorola Citrus can be considered as another disastrous budget release. Number 11, the Samsung Moment. The Samsung Moment had great specification for 29 years, with a 3.2-inch AMOLED screen. The QWERTY slide-out keyboard was not bad, but the phone had serious issues. Indeed, it had random freezes and crashes. It dropped calls and some data issues never solved by Samsung. Number 10, the Nexus 6. Expensive flagship costing more than $700 with stock Android experience, which was a good point. But Nexus 6 has had a lot of issues. The camera took an incredibly long time for the first shot, for example. The phone suffered of constant overheating and had horrible performance for a flagship. Worst is that its predecessor, the Nexus 5, had better performance. Number 9, the HTC Wildfire. Like the proverb says, you get what you pay for. By buying the cheap HTC Wildfire, you got a low Android phone with a 3.2-inch display and a 384 MB of RAM. The screen was enough to make users' eyes bleed. Not very fun to use. Number 8, the Motorola Backflip. The Backflip had an odd design with an unresponsive keyboard. The touchpad was easy to accidentally touch. It suffered from a lack of processing power with its 528 MHz Qualcomm processor for 256 MB of RAM. Worst of all was the Moto Blur layer built on the top of Android 1.5. It was awful. Number 7, the LG G2X. It was the first phone with Tegra 2, but what a buggy phone. A lot of users have stopped to buy LG phones after the LG G2X experience. Others manufacturers continue to say thank you to LG for the disastrous phone. Number 6, the Galaxy Nexus. The Galaxy Nexus had an absolutely terrible battery life, even with the extended model. The performance were also bad, and the camera was not better. Number 5, the HTC Thunderbolt. The HTC Thunderbolt was the first phone ever with 4G LTE connectivity. It was very exciting when it first launched, but quickly users have found miserable battery life and extremely poor performances. For that, the HTC Thunderbolt deserves its spot on the top 5 of this ranking. Number 4, the Samsung Dart. a 3-inch plastic display with 240 by 320 pixel resolution. Was not acceptable in 2011 even for an entry-level phone. It was also underpowered with a poor processor. Even given away free on contract, this phone was a terrible rip-off. Number 3, the Kyocera Echo. For the Kyocera Echo, it's really simple. Just type worst Android phone on Google and you will see the Kyocera Echo to appear. Instead of going for a bigger touchscreen, Kyocera decided to include two 3.5-inch screens, which could be slotted together thanks to a rear inch mechanism that created one big 4.7-inch screen. But the black border in the middle detracted the effect. Worst, the Kyocera Echo had a poor processing power and obviously a limited battery. Number 2, the Garmin phone. The Garmin phone was made by Asus for Garmin. The phone was really ugly and looked like a failed cross between a personal media player and a GPS unit. Asus and Garmin tried to create a navigation experience that no one needed. Add to these issues a poor battery life and a weak set of specifications, and you have a disaster. By chance, nobody bought the Garmin phone. Now it's time to discover the number 1 of the worst Android phones of all time. The number 1 is the Samsung Galaxy Note 7. Obviously, when it was launched, the Samsung Galaxy Note 7 was an awesome phablet with all the best features available, like the iris scanner for example. Users have quickly bought a lot of Samsung Galaxy Note 7, but the problems have started when some Note 7 have exploded. Samsung has tried to replace the Note 7 and has delivered a new version, but it was the same. Finally, Samsung stopped the Note 7 production and recalled all the devices sold. The Samsung Galaxy Note 7 will have cost more than $10 billion to the South Korean firm. A disaster for an awesome phone at launch. Your worst Android phone of all time is not in the list? Share your worst Android phone of all time in comments.